Look, everybody wants to sell their house for top dollar, but you don't do it by asking an insane price that no one's going to pay. You do it by proper marketing and positioning, and that's what I'm about to tell you right here on that video. Hi, I'm Mike Cuevas, your real estate dude, and what we're going to be chatting about this video is exactly how marketing and positioning plays a crucial role to getting you top dollar for your property. You see, when the dudes list properties, one of the most common questions that we get from every seller is, hey dudes, how do I get absolute top dollar? Well, that's what I want to show you today. And everything when you're selling your house is all about positioning. So let me first explain what the hell positioning is so you have a better idea of what to expect. Now, when you position your property for sale, it's just like you're selling anything else. When you go to the store, you'll notice that in the grocery aisle, there's certain cereal boxes positioned correctly. When you're thinking about buying anything, whether it's a vacation, a house, a mortgage, or even just like an piece of exercise equipment, it's all about positioning. And the positioning is how the public, in your case, potential buyers, will view your house. Is it a good deal? Is it priced too high? Or is it the perfect place for them to lay their head and call home? So there's actually three different components of positioning. And the very first and the most important way of positioning your house is how you price your house. And testing your house on the market and saying, hey dudes, why don't you go out and list this property for like $35 million more than it's worth is actually a disservice to you. And I want to explain why. See, when a new property gets listed on the market, all of a sudden everyone's like, whoa, new house. And there's always an amount of buyers or a pent-up demand of buyers in the marketplace. And when something comes new on the market, the number one thing they all do is they go look at it. Now, realistically, when people see a new listing come on the market, there's a lot of leverage for you as the seller because nobody wants to lose that new listing if in fact it's the place that they want to call their next property. And it's the buzz that this new listing gets that generates a lot of that attention, but more importantly, urgency. So let me play this into a different scenario. Have you ever really wanted something? Really wanted something, but for some reason it just wasn't attainable or it was just maybe slightly out of reach? Well, the second that one thing is that you wanted is gone, guess what? You want it 10 times more. And that's exactly how you mind somebody to buying your property. You see, our job as your marketing dude is to absolutely get you the best terms. Many times that might be the sales price. And how we're able to do that is that we make sure and we position your property from the get-go that it has a lot of urgency around it, that a lot of people want to take a view of it, and it is all positioning. Because what we like to say here at The Dudes is that somebody will pay more for your house that they feel may be gone tomorrow than they would if it wasn't going to be gone tomorrow. That makes sense? You see, when people see an overpriced listing and it doesn't sell on the market, everyone starts thinking to themselves, what the is wrong with that house? Why has nobody else bought that damn house? Well, I will tell you exactly why nobody's bought the house is because they start second guessing the value it brings on the table. So let me ask you a question. Which house are you more likely to pay more for? The house that just got listed on the market or the house that's been on the market for 4 years? Absolutely, I'm gonna lowball the house that's been on the market for 4 years, but I'm gonna pay at list price for the house that just got listed. You know why? Because I don't want anyone else to take it from me and I don't know how many eyeballs it's getting. That is called pricing positioning. Now here's another thing about pricing position that most people don't think about. You see, the average consumer is going to look for their house online, much like what you're probably doing. If you're thinking about moving, the very first spot you're going to is like a site like Zillow, Redfin, or something like that. Now, the number one search criteria that you'll be typing into the computer though is going to be based upon price. And if you look at the search criteria, prices come in $25,000 to $50,000 increments. And that's typically how people search. So in this particular example, when we're also pricing your house, we're also pricing it in a way to look at which is gonna get the most amount of eyeballs and exposure because your pricing is absolutely strategic. Now, the second way that we're gonna go ahead and market your property is that you gotta do it through its description. And if you've been online, I know you. You've been searching and reading those descriptions, haven't you? You're looking for those emotional remarks and you're looking for different ways that of language that sort of results or sort of strikes an emotion with you. So it's no differently when people are marketing a property. It is so important to properly position all the main benefits, lifestyle features of this house. So for example, if you were selling an investment property, and I knew that your end buyer was going to be a real estate investor, a buy and hold investor, well, guess what? I would then be using language like cash on cash return. This property has a 7% cap, because I would have to speak investor language. But on the other hand, if I had a property that was a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and I knew a family was gonna go move into it, guess what I'm talking about on the remarks? I'm focusing on the lifestyle, the parks, how far the local school is, the local grocery store, because that's what a family wants to see. You see, no two properties are alike, and you have to describe it and write a story almost to resonate emotionally with your ideal buyer, because people read those remarks. In addition to that, having all of your fields filled out, we not only need to be familiar with your property, because we're not just selling your house, we're selling the community it resides in. And part of that is knowing exactly where everything else is around it. You see, we're not real estate agents. We're like tour guides, and your house is the attraction. Our job is to make sure this pops. Now, the third way that we position your house for sale is just through the marketing. We don't call ourselves, call it your real estate company. We're a real estate marketing company, because that's what our benefit is. That's our value add. We are really good at marketing. We've been doing this for a long time, whether it's video or content creation. And one of the ways that we position every single listing is through marketing. You see, I don't want to wait for a buyer to come out to us. I'm going to go out there and get that buyer. And unfortunately, 98.2% of real estate agents have the same listing plan. They're gonna list it on the MLS. They're gonna go ahead and put a sign in your yard, host an open house, do some staging, and then guess what? They're just gonna sit there and pray and wait for a buyer to come. Well, here at the Dudes, we like to do things a little bit different. I'm a lot more aggressive, and we would actually like to go out and find your buyer, because we know exactly how to run advanced ads, video, create content, create blogs, and we are experts in the digital landscape and in positioning and marketing real estate. What this means is that you have to actually go out to where your buyer's hanging out at. So for example, let's say that you had a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in downtown San Diego. Well, chances are you're not gonna have a family moving into that. What you're going to have is a single bachelor looking to find Mrs. Right probably, and he's probably in the age around 30 years old. Well, guess what? We need to market for that ideal buyer. I need to show that ideal buyer how cool Gaslamp is, how cool the local area is. And then I probably need to show them where all of the beautiful women are at, because that would be the type of property or the ideal buyer for that house. Our job is to find out who is your ideal buyer, then we reverse engineer, create a marketing plan for them, and then we find them. So there you have it. This is how you price a property. It's all about positioning. People will pay more for something they fear will be gone tomorrow. So if you're really looking to get top dollar, you need to have the right marketing plan all around your house, and that is something we can absolutely help you with. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us, but you don't need more real estate agents. What you need are more dudes. Go ahead and click the link somewhere around this video. Give us a shot. We'd love to speak with you, and hopefully we hear from you soon. Thanks for watching. Mike Cuevas, your real estate dude.